Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidna ilma. Allahumma ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh again, beautiful sisters. It's been a beautiful journey. So today is review day. It's the last day of this quarter. So we had 10 weeks. This is our 10th week, going over the beautiful names of Allah. And so it's good to do that review so that we at least get all of them together in our mind again, inshallah. And subhanAllah, it's amazing because one sister yesterday, so recently I did a mini webinar on happiness, and some of you have watched it. And so yesterday was a Q&A about happiness. And then I thought about one sister's question. She said, how often should we remember Allah? Is it like, every 5 minutes? Like, how often is enough to remember Allah? And so, of course, it's as often as you can. But I was reflecting on that later on, and I said, subhanAllah, when you know the names of Allah, it's going to push you to actually remember Allah. Because we'll see, like all the names that we studied, even in this quarter alone, if you really internalize them, then you're going to remember Allah. If you know Allah is a shaheed, I'm not going to go into the names because you guys have a quiz today. But, if you know like all of these beautiful names and you are you think about them in your day to day. So I thought about how the names of Allah helps us to constantly remember Allah in everything that we do. That's number one. The other thing that helps us to remember Allah too is following the sunnah. If you guys have this book, I always promote this book, mashallah, tabarakallah, The Fortress of the Muslim. Because to me, after the Qur'an, is something that every Muslim should have all the time with them, right? And so the Fortress of the Muslim, if you look at the du'as, you have a du'a for almost every situation of your life. From going to the bathroom, to having intercourse with your spouse, to, going outside of your house, going inside your house before you eat, before you, in any situation that you can think of, when you drive, when you go to sleep, when you wake up, when you put your clothes on, when you take off your clothes. So, honestly, if you think about all of these du'as, you're going to see that remembering Allah is easy because you have a du'a for everything, right? And so those are the two things that I think answer that question, like how often should we remember Allah. Is really easy when you know the names of Allah, and it's easy when you implement the sunnah. And this is why in the names of Allah class, many times I give you a dua from many times it's from the Fortress of the Muslim, right? So let's go into quiz mode. Bismillah. So this is how it's gonna work, sisters. In the chat box, right? So all of you guys should try to have access to the chat box. You're going to answer when I tell you to answer, but you're not gonna respond to everyone, okay? You're gonna respond only to me. So only to me. So I'm sure it will give you the option to respond to, let's see. So from right now for me, it's telling me you guys, but I'm sure you have an option to respond to teacher or something, right? You guys have that option? Okay.
Yes, we do.
So that's what you're gonna do is type your message to teacher, okay? Not to everyone. Okay, so Bismillah, let's go. The strong, the one mighty in strength, the powerful one whose strength does not end and who does not experience any difficulty in his actions, nor does he experience any tiredness. Bismillah, go ahead. Who is it? What is the name? Yes, Alima. Yes, Ruqayya. Yes, Adiatu, that's correct. Okay, that's all I have. That's all I have. Going once, going twice. Okay, I'm gonna move on. The strong, the one mighty in strength, the powerful one. If you want, I give you a hint. The firm. No, Nafisatu, no. The firm. Yes, Ajay, even though I know you made a typo. The witness, the one who witnesses everything, that which is apparent and that which is hidden. He is the one with full knowledge, witnessing the apparent and hidden anywhere. Yes, Aja. Anytime. Yes, Nafi. I think this one everybody will get. Yes, Rukaya. The one who witnesses everything. Yes,
It's
Ali.
my favorite name this quarter.
Yes, Heidi. Okay, I hope nobody is looking at their notes to answer. Yes.
No, 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 no.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying I just hope nobody in the class is looking at their notes. Okay.
No, did
Binta,
you
we
see my
studied.
I'm just making
Binta,
sure.
did you see my answer?
Yes, you got it, Mariam. You got it. You got it. Mashallah.
Juba Juba why?
AJ,
Yes.
I didn't study. I feel so bad.
I studied.
No, but I'm still gonna study and redo the test. I'm still gonna do it.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
So these are the names we covered, sisters. Al-Shahid, Al-Mateen, Al-Mujib, Al-Mu'min, Al-Muhaymin, Al-Nasir, Al-Wali, Al-Mawla, Al-Muqaddimu, Al-Mu'akhiru, Al-Rafiq. So do you feel overall that you have a good understanding of these names?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alhamdulillah.
I think this quarter actually, for me, these names actually, like in making dua, I use more of these names than the other quarters that I've done, the other two previous ones, because there's a lot of these names that I can connect with, you know, and I use them a lot, especially in making decisions that I have to like there's something that I'm going through, and honestly I don't know what to do, and it's only Allah that can guide me, because He knows what the future is, and He's the most knowledgeable. And so yeah, so these names, I think it was just the qadar of Allah that I joined this quarter, because initially I was not going to join the quarter.
Oh yeah, remember that. Yeah.
So alhamdulillah,
I remember that. You told me you were not going to join this quarter.
Yeah, because I introduced my sister and I was like, oh, I'll be rewarded from that. And then I don't need to join it anymore. So
oh wow, mashallah. You see, that's the other thing. Like, you may get reward for her, yes, but you are in need of it. Like, we all in need of it. We in need.
Yeah.
We can't delegate that knowledge, and that you can't delegate it to somebody else. Like, you are like, some parents do that. Like, they'll put their kids in Quran school and they're not gonna try to read Quran because they say, oh, my kids, you know, as long as they learn how to read, that's fine. I get the reward for that. No, we all in need. Allah says, save yourself and your family. So we are all in need of the knowledge. But yes, you do get reward for your system. Bi'idhnillah, mashallah. But yeah, this, and you know, when I think about it, because again, this list was put together way before COVID and all that. But when I think about this as like the qadr of Allah, these names have so much protection in them. And I think the timing with COVID and all that, I think this is really beautiful timing as well. Because people are being delayed in like not going back to work the way they know, or even school, or like they're being delayed in getting back their day-to-day life the way it was before the quarantine, right? So there's this delay, and some people are tired of it. Some people are home and they're, you know, they're not really, they feel bad about it, right? They're not taking it well. So it's like all of these names, al-muqaddim, al-mu'akhir, subhanallah, and all the protection. Look at the protection and the help. Al-wali, al-mawla, al-nasir, al-muhaymin, al-mu'min. You know, just these names alone like have a lot of protection in them.
Yeah, and that was one of the questions that I had for you, Binta, was that when you pick the names out of the 99, do you pick them with a certain, like these are all connected, mashallah, and like you said, the timing is amazing, but then for other quarters or the ones to come, how do you pick the names? Do you pick them because they connect? Or is it, you know, do you have any reasoning behind the names that you pick?
No, actually, honestly, I just choose, like, I have a list. I take the list from Uthaymeen's list of the names of Allah, right? And so I just look at what I covered already, and then and so it's already done. I've already done the quarters and the names. I think there was one time when I did the name Al-Muqit. I think I had Al-Muqit for this quarter, but I did it the previous quarter. I think I fell upon Al-Muqit, and I just felt so connected to it. As let me just bring it. Oh yes, I was supposed to do Ash-Shahid last quarter, right? But instead I switched it to Al-Muqit, right? So that's the only thing, like, I could say, like, sometimes I may switch a name, but the list is already done all the way to the 99. Like, it's already done per quarter. And I don't even think about the same thing with, but I mean, the timing is just, it's from Allah. I have nothing to do with it. Actually, mashallah. Yeah, I have nothing to do with it. Mashallah. Yeah. Any other questions or comments?
My comment, and I'm going to make it very quick, is just I think we all came across the names of Allah one way or another into our lives in different ways. But this is the very first time that I connect with the names as much as I did with this quarter. I mean, with this class. Some of you know, I'll take one example, Muhaimin, and one of the names that I really connected to, especially when I was pregnant with my very first pregnancy and throughout. But then I never connected with the name itself as much as I did because of how detailed we went for each and every name. So may Allah reward you tremendously for the time that you took into preparing for each of the names, because this is not an easy work and light work either. So it's just, you know, making dua that may Allah preserve the knowledge and all the effort that you put into each and every name that you single out and put for this class.
I mean, and I really benefit from these classes, because as I prepare and as I teach, like, the names stay with me, like, it stays with me, and then just like a reminder on Facebook, a reminder on Instagram, like, wherever I go, I'll return, and then sometimes I'll be like, Mariam, class discussion, we talked about this. So it's just amazing, mashallah. May Allah just accept from us. And
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Ameen, ameen. Yes, this is one of my favorite quarters of the names of Allah. MashaAllah.
Mashallah.
Very, very beautiful names. Yeah. And you know, you're right, Binta, when you was talking about earlier how, you know, the names of Allah, how do we remember, how many times can we remember Allah in the day?
Yeah.
I mean, like, with the names of Allah and the du'as that we make, you're right. Because it's like constantly, you know, like something happens and you're like, oh, that's a shaheed. Oh.
Yeah. Very, very true, mashallah. AJ, I lost you, I think. I can't hear you anymore. Maybe she muted.
Oh, that's Arakib. Yeah, my network is bad, but
okay.
You know, kind of allow my shafa.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Like, you think about these names. For me, the name Al-Muqit during the pandemic was a name that I just kept experiencing. You know, like, people would just be dropping groceries at our doorsteps, and like, subhanallah, Al-Muqit was last quarter, it was a powerful name in my life. And so my husband was even saying, whenever we had like another thing, a bag of groceries that we open the door, we see it, and he was like, oh, Al-Muqit. Himself, he was connecting with Al-Muqit. But this quarter, I would say for me, honestly, Al-Muqaddim and Al-Mu'akhir were the ones I connected the most with. Because it's so in line with Al-An for you. It's so in line with what I'm trying to do. For me, those were like really powerful names for me personally. So the next quarter starts September 5th, inshallah. Registration is open. It closes on the 1st, bi'idhnillah. But this is for the live, okay? Registration is always open for self-study, always available whenever you want. You can book and just get the recordings. But as far as the live classes, it closes on the 1st, inshallah. Same time, same period, 10 weeks every Saturday. Bi'idhnillah, may Allah give us the tawfiq. And so I pray that you really enjoyed this beautiful journey as much as I did. I really did. And you guys did really good on the test. I think you guys did good. The first time I gave you guys tests, was it 2 quarters ago? Woo. Sisters, sisters got really confused. But I think last quarter and this quarter, you guys did good. Alhamdulillah. So may Allah accept from us. May Allah forgive us. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته sisters.